California?
No. I graduated out of St. James, Missouri.
And then you went to California? Or did you go to California and come back to St. James?
I think I went to California and came back.
And then graduated?
Yeah.
So then when did you leave St. James the second time?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Really.
Do you remember where you went next?
Well,
You must have been 17 or 18 at that time, right?
it was Aunt Betty and I wanted to get Bill out of prison. But when we got Bill out, he didn't come with us. He went immediately up to Sequim, Washington, and married June.
Oh.
And then he brought her down to LA, and I had him start to work with me in the Irma laboratory, and then he went off with some guy that was St. Louis, and he got charged with armed robbery. Dad hired a good attorney down there, and that's when I lost my grandpa's shotgun. My grandpa had given me a shotgun, and Bill's old crooked buddy sawed the barrel off of it and did some robberies with it. And Dad hired a sharp attorney and got Bill off. And that was about it.
Where were you when, so all that was in St. Louis. Where were you when all that happened?
In Wichita.
You were in Wichita by then? You had your lab. You had your plastics lab.
Oh, yeah. Had all that. Always busy.
Yeah. Why did you move to Wichita? What brought you to Wichita?
Well, I graduated in '48 from the school in St. James. And in St. James, in Missouri, they still had these M80s. I mean, those were those powerful firecrackers.
Quarter stick of dynamite.
So I took a whole box or two out to California with me. Well, they were fun.
And that got you to Wichita. The M80s and...
Huh?
The M80s got you to Wichita somehow.
Donald Castleman, a friend of mine out there, was still going to school, so their school got out at a different time than the school in Missouri. We got out earlier than them, and so we was on the third floor of his schoolhouse, and said, let's light one of them and drop it down to the first floor.
I know.
And so that's what we did. And as we was watching the people down there, look at that thing fizzle. And all of a sudden that thing blew up, and I thought it was going to take the roof of the building off. You know, it was so powerful. Girls were screaming and people were running down the halls, and I thought I was going to jail.
You make my old school tricks look amateur. The things we pulled.
Well, I never sent a picture to the teacher with a bullet going through his head.
I did that.
He did that.
Yeah, but nobody ever gave you an assignment to draw the weapons in a teacher-supervised class or project where you were going to invent games. I mean, they literally, in writing, gave him David's gonna draw the weapons, and when they did, take him to expulsion hearing.
Well, he did a good job of it, that's all I can say.
It was pretty graphic, wasn't it? I took my inspiration right out of a math book where they were
Right.
shooting an apple.
Right. That was
And
all
that,
that we presumed.
at the hearing, they were so emphasizing upon scaring people. And so I asked the teacher, I said, did this picture scare you? He said, oh no. And that was the end of anything
Yeah.
that they might have done.
Right.
Well, did you take David's case? I don't remember
Yeah,
you
I
participating.
don't remember that.
Yes, I took
Really?
his case, yes.
Well, see, he had to go through psych evals. That wasn't the end of it. We had to find somebody who'd do a psych eval, and because I knew people, I guess, nobody wanted to take it, and who was it that did take that?
Well, I had the school case and I don't know about anything else.
Yeah.
That's all I
They let him
had.
back in, but he had to drop that art class.
And that was because he drew the picture of that bullet going through her head.
Right. Howard Brodsky did your psych eval. That's who did it.
That thing was so silly. It was stupid of me to give that to that teacher. You know, that was a stupid decision. I tried to take it back almost immediately, but it all went south by that time. But anywho,
Schools are sick today. They're filled with rules of what you can't do. They fill books. Libraries are filled with books of what you can't do.
they're prisons. They're prisons and day camps for people who, you know, for kids who can't take care of themselves at home.
Well,
We're taught not to.
I also found out that on handicapped kids, they had to graduate, so they didn't know probably even where they were at, but they gave them a diploma.
Yeah. No child left behind.
Well,
That was part of my teaching experience. It didn't matter. You'd have the same kids that would not. You'd have kids that complete an assignment in 5 minutes, and you'd have kids. You'd give them 2 hours, and they would still have to. There's no way they're going to complete it. They just couldn't. Totally different levels. And it was a waste of the one student's time that could be done in 5 to 10 minutes, and then it was a waste of the other one's time too, because it was the assignment was not on their level. So. Thanks, George Bush.
Well, we looked at the possibility of sending David to a private school.
It was
Where I was kicked out.
it was
Slogan.
Should I stop this?
it was reform school because I went to visit it first.
Oh, it's doing to reform school.
Maybe we could.
Just kidding.
I know.
That place is open.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean buy a battery and
Yeah.
take it out?
You wanna run up to Rusty's and see if they have a battery that'll fit the boat?
Sun's starting to come out for the first time.
It's what day is today?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Where can I get a battery on?
Rusty's.
Oh, mercy.
Is it a lot more expensive at Rusty's?
Oh, yes.